Hello. We're just gonna, we're all just live now, and we're going to just try and share some bits. Bear with us, guys. How's everyone doing today? If you've anything we're going to talk about today, so we're going to go through some, talk about the new Batman suit. We're going to talk about wrestling.
We're going to do a bit about The Witcher, Parasite, The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
If there's anything, try and keep something spoiler free. But yeah, if there's anything that you want to discuss, or if there's anything that we talk about and you want to comment on that, just feel free to leave it in the comments.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely flawless, this, isn't it?
It really is. We're really professional.
Absolutely flawless. Right. I think I've done something right. Okay. Dead air. We've got dead air, Ant. We've got dead air.
Dead air.
Tell us a joke there, quick.
Put me on the spot now.
Well, we had early on this week. We had a problem with our electrics in the house.
Right.
So we had to get an electrician in, and unfortunately, I just couldn't deal with the current situation.
You can't actually see it over here, but a tumbleweed went past. I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm just joking.
No one's joined you. Oh.
Here we go. In my watch party now, we've got Ant, who's going to be coming with us to the John Williams night on Wednesday. We've got Patchie.
Hi, Patchie.
He's missing this week.
Oh. This is just, you know what, we're just so professional, aren't we, I tell you?
Yeah.
Jason does all this hard work and we just come in and ruin everything.
It's because we're missing a Patchie.
We're missing a Patchie, we miss you.
Yeah.
Please come back soon.
We've got Bex has just joined.
Awesome.
So we will be talking about things in a bit.
Yeah. Awesome.
As you join, if you can just like the actual video, and if you can also share it for us, please.
That's worked, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, excellent. Okay. So Patchie's joined, has he? Yeah.
Yep.
Has he joined on the? Yeah. What is he? I miss you too.
We miss you too, Patchie.
Excellent. Right.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
I've got to talk to George by myself.
It was a really awkward car journey as well, wasn't it?
It really was. Just going to disagree with everything.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So we'll start. I'll tell you what. Then we'll start with something that Patchie sent through to us. So Patchie sent through. We asked when we were discussing what we were going to talk about on the show this week. We're looking forward to For the Love of Wrestling 2 in April. So we were discussing our top five wrestling moments, top 5 wrestlers, matches, stuff like that. So Patchie's actually sent me his through when he was on holiday.
Right. Okay.
Right. So I'm going to go through his first. His number 1 was AJ Styles returns at Royal Rumble 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Now I watched that pay-per-view with him and my nephew, Patchie's lad.
Yeah.
And the room, it was only 3 of us, but it felt like there was 60,000 people around us because it was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Unexpected. I hadn't read any of the forums and stuff like that, so because there's always a couple of clues, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a match that I'm not familiar with, just because, as you'll probably see from my top 5, I've not watched wrestling for a few. I've dipped into it every now and then, but my era was the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not familiar with that match, but it was pretty exciting. Yeah.
Well, that's his one. One of his ones, and the Matt Hardy line as well. The broken Matt Hardy.
Yeah, I was aware of that. Yeah.
Where that's
it went bad, didn't
it? Yeah, it's just mental. He's put as well Undertaker, Mankind, Hell in the Cell.
Yeah.
Oh, feedback. And which was just amazing. Kenny Omega and Jericho at Wrestle Kingdom 12.
Right.
And of course, because you've listened to previous shows, you know, you and Patchie into the Misfits and all that, you know, that sort of thing. He's actually put Vampiro and WCW with the Misfits.
I do remember that happening, yeah.
Yeah, that was I don't think it was all of the Misfits though, was it just the bassist or something he said? Something like that anyway, yeah. But that's his anyway, so that's Patchie over and done with now. So, but thank you very much, Patchie, for sending that in, and Patchie will be joining us next time, won't we?
We hope so.
Yeah. So, what were your top 5 moments, wrestlers? What did you want to talk about?
Right. Well, I'll start with number 5.
Okay.
It was actually not so much. Some of these are matches. Some of these are just like little moments that happened. One of my favourite things in wrestling is Vince McMahon's reaction to things.
Oh, yeah.
He's very animated.
He is.
But do you remember the Kiss My Club?
Yes.
Yeah, when he tried to get Trish Stratus to do it, and The Rock saved her.
Yes.
That to me, he's just there with his pants down, literally.
I think he's very. He went into obviously with the whole like Mr. McMahon sort of persona and stuff like that. He really come into his own, didn't he? And he loves the limelight. He's got some good facial expressions on it.
Yeah, definitely. Number 4 for me. Do you remember when it was? You had the Dudley Boys and Too Cool matched up, and then you had DX, and then I think it was what's his name? Big fella in all PVC and piercings everywhere. Was it Prince Albert?
Prince Albert, yeah.
It was one big match with all of them, and at the end, Too Cool actually invited Rikishi came in,
right, okay,
and invited the Dudley Boys to do the dance, and I just thought that was one absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that now. Yeah.
Number 3, although he didn't actually retire that night, and he came back for some more matches. When Undertaker retired, and they made that big thing about it. I hadn't watched wrestling for years, but it was WrestleMania. Was it New Orleans?
Things. Yeah.
And I think it was one of those. It was quite an emotional thing because Undertaker's always been one of my favourite wrestlers. And watching him retire, and he's there, he's taking off his gloves, taking off his coat, took off his hat, and just put it all down in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was a really good moment. So on the whole, he came back.
Well, that's the thing, because a couple of our mates went, didn't he? Kenny and Kat.
Yeah.
And like
he was a big Taker fan as well.
He's a huge Taker fan.
Yeah.
And he was saying, so emotional. It was just a perfect send off for him.
Yeah.
And then he's back again. And then I think he was fighting in like Saudi Arabia like last year, wasn't he, and stuff. And the match was awful. It was so cumbersome. You
can tell that. I mean, obviously he's one of the most legendary wrestlers, and he's been so what's the word? Can't think. It's Sunday morning. He's been so loyal to the WWE. He's never gone over to any other places. He's always stayed with Vince.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's sad when you're watching him do these matches later on.
Yeah.
Because you just think, just stop now. You've had an amazing career. But yeah, I think that moment should have been Taker's final moment.
Yeah. Okay. I'm watching.
Number 2, after him being all advertised as he's got burns and everything all over his face, but at the time when I was watching it, when Kane removed his mask, it was a match between him and Triple H.
Yeah.
And he put his mask on the line, so it was quite exciting. Anyway, at the start of the match, thinking, well, is he going to lose? We're going to see his face. Yeah, he unmasked. It was a little bit this way. I'd like to have seen a few more scars and burns.
Yeah.
But my all-time favourite match is from Rock Bottom in 1998. Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker. And it was a buried alive match, which Steve Austin actually won.
Superb, wasn't it?
And it was actually for the right to compete in the 1999 Royal Rumble. So that was absolutely amazing. And for Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's my all-time favourite wrestler, to actually beat Taker at his own match, that was pretty cool.
Excellent.
What about yours?
Yeah. Well, last year at the For Love of Wrestling, the first one we had last year, that night on the Saturday night we had a wrestling night, didn't we? Our own little after show party in Video Odyssey. We put the interviews up and stuff like that. And we had where showed a couple of classic matches. One of them I wanted to show on the big screen. It looked great. Was British Bulldog versus Bret Hart. SummerSlam '92, Wembley. Absolutely fantastic match. Just such for an intercontinental title match to be the main event at anything like that. It was just unbelievable. Massive chance, massive opportunity for the two of them. Because Bret Hart was really big then, but he didn't. He was getting bigger and bigger. He was winning world titles after that and stuff like that. Bulldog was just brilliant in it.
Yeah.
He was not just he was a big guy, but he was doing a lot of more athletic maneuvers and stuff like that. It was brilliant. As well as that, around the same time as Ric Flair winning the Royal Rumble. So it was when Hulk Hogan went over to WCW with the title. And the title was vacant. And it was basically the winner of the Royal Rumble got the title. Ric Flair won it by being an absolute
expletive.
He was just proper hanging onto the ropes and just begging for people not to throw him out and stuff like that. And he was proper heel. It was one of the best heel matches I've ever seen. Someone being that much of a bad person or a bad guy, and the kids are just screaming at him just to get thrown out. He's almost gets chucked out, and then someone stops him getting chucked out. It's brilliant. He's throwing someone like the Undertaker out and stuff like that. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I love, it's not really a moment, but a series of moments of Sting versus the NWO as well. WCW, absolutely superb. I think what I didn't mention before, Patchie had sent through about Sting. So when he come into WWF, it was such a wasted opportunity for him because he got injured shortly after one of his matches, and he had to retire. But the time he was there, I think they just wasted him quite a bit actually, because he was a legend. He was like a lot. We were saying about the Undertaker being loyal. He was loyal to WCW for all that time. And he was such a great wrestler. And I think the younger. When he was young, early 90s and stuff like that, and you look at him and you think he's quite athletic, he's jumping, he's bouncing about everywhere. He's a big guy. He's I think he's 6'2", 6'3". He's tall, and he was still doing all the moves. The fight he had, the match he had with Triple H at the WrestleMania, and it was against the authority type thing, and it was to stop Triple H and stuff, and the NWO come in and DX come in, and they were just Shawn Michaels Sweet Chin music and stuff like that. It was just amazing.
Well, that's always been a massive feud, isn't it? DX against NWO.
Well, that was it was what all the 90s wrestling fans wanted to see. They never got the opportunity until they obviously merged, and then at that WrestleMania. And absolutely one of the best things I've ever seen was Jericho Y2J. Coming into it, debuting in the WWF, he was absolutely outstanding from day one, and you can see the career he's had now. Where he's still wrestling at his age. He was in New Japan. He's at AEW now. He's absolutely fantastic. All the feuds he had. I know we're not particularly supposed to mention about Benoit and Mr. Roboto, but his feud with him was amazing. China as well, which was just a mad feud but brilliant. And the one he had with William Regal.
I remember that one.
William Regal one was just absolutely, the Queen, was it the Duchess of Queensberry rules or something like that? Was the whole match and stuff. It was just brilliant. And then what match I actually wanted to mention, because it doesn't really get much coverage, was I think it was the 2001 Rumble. It was Cactus Jack versus Triple H.
Yes.
And there's one moment in it where he does the pedigree into pins, and just Cactus Jack's face just goes into all these pins. Obviously, we're aware that it's not all real, but it's just such a good fight. Absolutely brilliant.
Is that the fight when they did the barbed wire around the baseball bat as well? Yeah, I remember that one.
What was the name of it? I think. But yeah, that was really good. But going on to this year, I mean, Love Wrestling this year, they've got a couple of ones from last year coming back. So they've got $1 Million Man coming back, and he's coming back with his son as well.
Right. Okay.
I spoke about a good couple of weeks back. I was saying about the interview we did with him last year. He's always wants to do a convention with his son, so they've actually finally got the two of them together, which I think is going to be really good. Jimmy Hart's back as well, absolutely legend.
You enjoyed talking to him last time, didn't you?
Yeah,
and the interview was really good.
A couple of his tag team that he managed are coming as well. So Nasty Boys are going to be there as well.
Oh, right.
And Nasty Boys are just like, if you were to draw wrestlers who like early 90s, just dead colourful, just leather jackets, everything was just brilliant, really good. Steiner Brothers going to be there. Kenny Omega as well, which is like quite a big coup for them. Goldberg, Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
You know, I could have put probably for the same Royal Rumble, the Cactus Jack Triple H one was Kurt Angle's first match he got defeated in, because he was undefeated for ages, and Taz come out, and Taz choked him out.
I remember
legal
that
choke,
time,
and then that started like a feud. I mean, that whole thing was a bit of a waste opportunity again with Taz, because Taz was such a good wrestler, and then he just...
Yeah, he was one of my favourites back then,
so that whole thing, and then, I mean, it got announced this week, Shawn Michaels is going to be...
Which is massive.
I mean, Shawn, I think he's there for the 2 days as well, because some of them are only there for 1 day. Saturday, Sunday, he's going to be fantastic. He's really going to be good. Yeah,
he's going to be doing a lot of signing that weekend, isn't he?
Definitely.
I think a lot of people will be going just to see. Well, there's so many amazing wrestlers going.
Yeah.
But I think when you see someone like Shawn Michaels pop up,
definitely
makes it pretty special, doesn't it?
Opportunity that you don't usually get. Have you got any comments coming in?
Say hello to a few people.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Who's here?
Right, so
Scott, Liam, Patchie, which we know, Dave, Leah, Ian. Excellent.
If Leah watching, just hello, Neve and Cora, if you're watching.
Hello, girls. So yeah, have we got any comments on it? Sorry.
There was a comment from Patchie. That was number 5. That's number 5.
Oh right, okay. Sorry.
Well, I don't think we actually did it in.
It didn't. No, it didn't do the order, did we? Apologies.
No.
See, that's why you should be here.
So that's it.
Yeah. Back off all day. Yeah. So what we're gonna do? So actually, we usually do like a couple of little facts. One of the wrestlers who's going to be there this year is Raven.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that Raven holds 32 titles? He's actually the most decorated competitor ever.
I didn't know.
On WWE's books, on the basically, because they acquired ECW and they acquired all these different ones. He done the hardcore title loads. He's actually won 32 titles. And if you take that out, like the tag team titles and stuff like that, if you take all the stuff he won before he was at WCW, I think it was like 4 times. He's won the hardcore title 5 times, and it's Edge. He's won it with 31.
Right.
Because he won loads of tag team titles as well, didn't he? But yeah, Raven, he's going to be there.
Back now as well, isn't he?
I think he is back now, yeah.
Yeah, I did see something like that a couple of weeks ago.
I think that's the way they did it with Sting, and like what happened with him. That's when I stopped taking a lot of interest in the modern world of WWE, just because that was like the end of an era. I think when he retired, it was like, well, you know what? He come back and did a couple of good things.
Yeah.
He could, if he hadn't got injured, then he would have still been around and stuff like that, feuding with people and stuff. But I think there's enough back catalogue. Like I really enjoyed watching. There was a couple of documentaries out last year. Dark Side of the Ring, which are on Channel 4 now. Actually, they're on More 4.
Yeah, you mentioned them a couple of months ago. Actually,
really good. So the Macho Man one is amazing. The Von Erichs documentary is unbelievable, and then the Bruiser Brody one is absolutely mental. I didn't know anything about Bruiser Brody's what happened with him and like his history and stuff. Check it out, guys. Dark Side of the Ring on Channel 4 on More 4. It's absolutely brilliant. All of them. So
got anything else to cover on the wrestling stuff?
I don't think so. Yeah, so there's still tickets available for April for the Football Wrestling. So get on there because
they're always really well planned events. It's company monopoly events. Me and George went to the horror convention last year, and George and Patchie went to the sci-fi one, and obviously George went to the For the Love of Wrestling last year. And they're always really well put together.
Definitely.
And they keep them small as best as they can.
There's a lot of people and there's a lot to say, and they're big, but I think what I've saying about there's still like a small community. It's still like it's a family atmosphere, no matter how many people are there. I've said that a few times with different articles I've wrote about the events and stuff. It's very much a family. So you go in through the door, and there's someone taking your ticket off you or whatever. You have a little chat with them, and you recognise them from the last event or whatever, which happened at the sci-fi event from the horror event. Lovely. The guys who do all the interviews as well, Ben and everyone, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
it's proper like family. It is like a family orientated thing, which is
definitely.
which is what you want. So after the last show, 'cause we were talking about the Lighthouse, and you hadn't seen it, and Patchie hadn't seen it. You've been to see it since, haven't you?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Let me get my notes. To be honest, I mean, the first thing that stood out to me was that it was shot absolutely beautifully.
Yeah.
It just made it look like an old photograph. I'm a big fan of cinematography and.
Okay.
But I mean, even the effort that they actually put in. I was reading up on how they actually shot the film. They used just a normal camera, but they actually fitted a 1930s lens to the camera to give it that effect. And they shot it onto black and white film as well. So it
Playing them.
But yeah, no, that stood out to me. That was the best thing about it, really.
Yeah.
I thought it had a really good foundation for it to be a really good story. They could have. I don't know, it's just a bit slow moving.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't really enjoy that. Defoe, really creepy.
Yeah, he's great.
He really was good. And his accent was consistent throughout, unlike Pattinson's.
Well, I think with Pattinson's accent, I think it was the whole, at that time, because I'm trying to defend it as much as possible, because I even turn around like that accent's awful.
Yeah.
But the accent kept changing. It sort of...
It went to full-blown Boston at the end.
It went to Boston, and it was in New England.
Yeah.
A bit of Canadian as well, like Nova Scotia and all around there. It was just a bit of... But I think that was because he travelled around and stuff. And I think that's what it was. It was like a mixture of...
Don't try and defend
I can't defend it. But acting-wise, he was absolutely amazing. He was outstanding. He held his own with Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe's just
a legend.
One of the
I mean, I did make a note about Pattinson. I think when he didn't actually have things to say and he was doing those bits, like there's the bit with the seagull.
Oh my god!
And that's quite an intense moment.
Yeah.
And he did that really well. And it's at those moments where there wasn't any dialogue. He was really good. I think just what really put me off about his acting was the accent. Yeah, just shush.
I think I mean I've never seen literally the only thing I said this last time. The only thing I've seen him in the past was in Harry Potter, and he's in half a film. I've obviously never watched Twilight and stuff like that, but last week after we watched Lighthouse, we watched Good Time.
Yeah.
One of the recommendations, actually, I think after it was Lyndon who commented. He said, "Watch Good Time on Netflix with Robert Pattinson." He was absolutely fantastic in that.
Yeah.
Didn't have to worry about his accent. It was just, his accent was just normal all the way through. Very 80s shot.
Right.
The music and everything really tense. It all takes place in the space of a night, pretty much.
Right.
So it's got a touch of the Warriors in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or there's one with Bruce Willis from a few years back.
Yeah.
I think it's 16 Blocks or something it's called.
Rings a bell, yeah.
Yeah. It's similar feel to that as well.
When that recommendation came up, when we were doing the show the other week, I've noticed even more online that people have been saying, if you didn't like The Lighthouse and you want to watch something with Robert Pattinson in that you're going to enjoy, I can guarantee you'll. These are sites that I've got on Facebook that I trust. Real film buffs, so I'm going to definitely give that a go.
Yeah, definitely. Good Times on Netflix. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Going on to what we were talking about, I wasn't actually going to chat about it because there wasn't much information, but in the last couple of days, so the Batsuit for the new Batman film has been released. I think it was very Mick again. Modern day social media, Twitter, a lot of poisonous fans out there.
Yeah.
Just get a life, guys. The suit looks brilliant. I
thought it looked absolutely amazing. I mean, when you've got those close-ups, and we mentioned when we were chatting about it the other day, the stitching in it, and there's the people are chatting about the bat symbol.
Yeah.
Is it the famous gun?
Yeah.
Is it just something else? They've not actually confirmed anything about it because I've really tried to look into it as best as I can. and they're not giving anything away.
One of the biggest, one of the things I actually did look into with the gun was your mate Kevin Smith actually did do the comic for it, didn't he?
Yeah.
With the basically Batman. It's like a series of flashbacks, isn't he? He runs through. It goes through like a load of like flashbacks and stuff, and it's all Batman getting like hitting the chest basically, firing bullets and everything. And it's he goes to like this black marketplace to get the gun to kill his parents. Yeah, that's like the story of like those series of comic books basically, and he melts it down. And he creates like the bat symbol. Could add to that?
It could be. Obviously from the shots as well. I mean, you've got him there just in the cowl. You can see the symbol on his chest, but it's very dark. It's got like a red light on it. Could they be doing like a bit of a Batman noir?
I really want, yeah.
And there's the shots of him on the motorbike as well.
Yeah, I think that was the only way I seen a bit on the motorbike. He does look, I think, again, Patchie said, he looks a bit cumbersome.
Is this like a bit of a DIY Batman? Like a bit? Is this like the beginning of Batman? Yeah. A different version of it? Or?
Well, that's because they were filming. Any actors out there who've got a good agent in Liverpool, they're actually looking for extras because they're filming in Liverpool. Oh, I looked into it when you sent me the link. I was like dead excited about it, and yeah, you've got to like be an actual actor, which is a bit of a pain. But
there's still time to get a bit of portfolio together.
I suppose you just like some headshots.
We're on a podcast.
But it's supposed to be Gotham, so maybe don't open your mouth.
Yeah.
Because they're filming in Glasgow at the moment and they're filming in Liverpool. Obviously, with all the buildings, it looks very gothic.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it. I think it looks really good. The extras, what they were saying, it was going to be like Halloween type party and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's what they were looking for. So people saying, is it going to be like the long Halloween comic storyline?
Yeah.
And then with these pictures, a lot of people have been saying, is it going to be like Year Zero Batman? So it's very, again, stripped down, back to basics. The first year of him, coming back to Gotham. Yeah. He's not living in Wayne Manor. He's living in, I can't think of the section of Gotham. It's like the rundown section of Gotham. Yeah. It's like, investigating the Riddler and stuff again. I think he's going to pull it off.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you've always got to have faith. Yeah. I know there was a lot of naysaying about Ben Affleck, but I liked him as Batman. I just didn't like the stories that he was having to go through.
Yeah, he was definitely the best bit about like Justice League and Batman versus Superman. It's just so bad. It's just such an awful
very
film.
Disappointing.
But Affleck as Bruce, I think it was more like as Bruce Wayne though as well. He was like he was very
he
was
was perfect in both.
I think
Pattinson's going to be interesting though. I think as soon as they actually put the cowl on, you look at it and you go, right, they suit the cowl. There's some actors where you just think, no, you could never be Batman. I would never in a million years have thought, let's get Robert Pattinson to do it, but maybe he'll pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, seeing these couple of films, he's got a good agent because he's getting all these really interesting projects and stuff, and it's landed in this role. So good luck to the lad. I'm really excited about it. Batman is like my favourite thing in the world, comic-wise. Yeah. So,
we always can hope. It's
definitely. Maybe we're a bit biased as well, so that's what we're saying. Because like someone like Superman, Man of Steel, and stuff. Again, I didn't like it.
And we can talk about it without Patchie disagreeing.
He hates Batman, doesn't he? He absolutely hates Batman, doesn't he?
Yeah. I've got a few more that have joined. Hi Chris, hi Andy, hi Lawrence, hi Pete. I was saying before, if you can share it and like the video, please. Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. So any likes, comments, just share the video as much as possible. It gets us more exposure, more coverage.
Yeah.
The last live video was seen by nearly 1,000 people, which was brilliant. 1,000 people seeing your face is great. We've got since then as well. We've had a lot of
more likes to posts,
loads of likes and comments and stuff like that. Yeah. I think you see Kenny Ferguson just joined as well. Kenny, we've spoke a lot about the wrestling earlier on, dude.
Missed it.
You missed a lot of the wrestling talk, but what we're going to do with this show is it's going to go out on Tuesday anyway.
Yeah.
on Access Northwest. Yeah, so that'll be episode 11 on Tuesday, so you can catch up again, anything you've missed on this one.
Yeah.
Again, when you listen to it, share it, like it, comment.
Just get us out there.
And yeah, anything as well, when we talk about it, like we said in the past, anything, what's your view on the Batman suit? You're liking the Batman suit? I know Harry, Patchie's lad, didn't like the suit. He said it was ridiculous. It's a good couple of...
Everyone's allowed their opinion.
Absolutely.
Even if it's wrong.
So yeah, what was the... going to talk, because our DM isn't here. GM, sorry.
GM,
Gonna kill me. Our GM isn't here, but we're going to talk about a night that's happening on the 10th of March on Smithdown Road. And you should see there, Tiny Rick's Cafe. They're doing a Hero Quest night on the 10th of March. So basically, it's a £5 to join. Cliff, who runs the place, he's going to do basically a series of quests for anyone who wants to join up. There's going to be singular people there. If you like RPGs, you don't have anyone to play with. Basically, you can go along. You can go as couples. You can go with there's 6 of us going. So there's going to be a few of us there anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good. It's really limited tickets as well, actually, because it's only a small place. But if they get going, they're going to start doing it every month.
More, so it needs to be a success.
Yeah, definitely. The same thing with that as well. They do. This is part of the open social gaming night as well. We're going to do. So
right.
They're doing that. They're trying to do it a couple of times a month again. Because not everyone likes to play board games. Not everyone likes to play. It's not just RPGs. It's just any board game.
I think as well, if you've always fancied playing it, but you haven't got the right people to play with, just come down, have a go, see if you enjoy it. And also you're going to be talking to people who are used to playing RPGs, who might be playing it for the first time. Also, the owner of Tiny Rick's, like George said, Cliff, I'm sure he'll be quite happy to sit and chat to you about board games and RPGs and introduce you to other things.
Absolutely. The first time I met him actually going back onto the wrestling was last year. At our event, he brought his little boy in that, and he absolutely smashed the I think he won the wrestling quiz, didn't he? He absolutely smashed it. He's a big wrestling fan. His little boy as well. I think you guys come second or third because you had Harry as well, didn't you? Oh no, Harry was with Kenny as well.
He was with Kenny. So I think it was it me, Patchie?
Yeah, rubbed it into. So that's what a lot of these people around the local area, not the northwest as well. There's a lot of people just trying to get something different out there. Try something different, and they're really they're doing well at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's a nice little community we've got going. I think a little geeky community. We've got the horror community as well. We've got the Liverpool Horror Club as well. Chris and that. It's great. Just check these things out.
It's all good people, and at the end of the day, if you enjoy those types of things or you're trying to get into those types of things, the thing about geeks is they really enjoy talking about certain subjects and introducing you to new things and getting you on board with what they really enjoy as well. So, come along, and also like Tiny Rick's on Facebook. Definitely. So you can see what nights are coming up, and we'll obviously promote it through the page as well.
Yeah. What we're going to talk about the Parasite as well, aren't we?
Parasite, yeah.
I've
not seen it yet.
Oh, you've not seen it? Oh,
no, I've not seen it yet. Okay. I'll leave this to you. Sell it to me.
I'm not going to go too far into it. I'm it's an Oscar-winning film which is being reviewed by better people than me. Apart from the guy in the Guardian, it's basically a story of class war in Korea, which
it's based around a true story, isn't it?
I didn't know that.
A
little fact.
Here comes trivia.
It's not what I thought. So when we went to see The Lighthouse, actually, there was a trailer for Parasite before it won the Oscar and stuff, and it starts off as a little bit funny, and then it started off.
I think Patchie's just commented on this.
Yeah.
Just back to RPGs. The GDC show was formed via RPG. So thanks to that, this is why we're doing it today.
Yeah, absolutely. Patchie, the GM.
It's all about community.
It is all about community.
Yeah. That's Parasite.
So definitely a sense of community. So in Parasite, there's not that the upper class. It's basically the story revolves around this guy who goes to teach English to this upper class for this upper class family.
Yeah.
And it's just a different world. He's living in a sub basement in this little shanty, almost like a shanty town part of whatever city that they're living in, and they're living in this absolute elegance, just the best of everything.
Yeah.
And it's such a stark contrast, and you think that's what it's going to be. Basically that's what it's about, just him and how he interacts with these people, and then something else happens, and then something else.
Right.
And it becomes, it's not a horror, and it's not, but it's definitely got elements of like a thriller to it. It's got elements of, there's a couple of shocks in it. It's really good drama. The writing's brilliant in it. The acting is absolutely outstanding as well.
So it's very deserving of the.
Definitely.
It was the best picture that it won.
I think it won, and he won Best Director as well. Absolutely brilliant. What I am made up about the Joaquin Phoenix one, but again, talking about the Batman universe.
Yeah.
Won Best Actor for Joker as well.
We actually rewatched it the same afternoon.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
So yeah, I absolutely love that film, and it was very deserving. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it was again, because a couple of films we've mentioned there, there's definitely like this the social aspect. The last couple of years, films are becoming more like hold the mirror up to society type thing.
Yeah,
and, reflecting a lot of that, and there's some really good films being made. There's some really good stories out there. You've still got your superhero films, you've still got Star Wars films. And stuff
because you want to get lost in those types of things, but more and more people, certain groups are becoming a little bit more socially conscious about things. It's a little bit easier to talk about certain things, although certain subjects are still quite hard. But like I said, the Joker, the base of that was depression.
Yeah.
And although it's a hard subject to actually tackle, I thought it was treated well. It was good.
Yeah. We had a lot of chat about it this week in work as well. We were saying about is this the turning point for for films and stuff like that, and this Oscar win, because it's so different to everything else.
Yeah.
There's always a film that comes in and blows everyone out the water, and it's a little bit different. Is this the turning point now, or is it just going to? Because there's been a few occasions in history where that's happened at the Oscars, or big films come out and nothing much has changed. It's stayed the same.
Yeah.
The status quo. Hopefully that will change this time.
Well, it picked up a bit of a snowball politically as well, didn't it? We won't go too much into it, but obviously Trump's comments about the film, and then the distributor commenting back.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing that it got picked up that way? Because at the end of the day, it's free advertising for the film.
Absolutely. I mean, I think as well, the people he's speaking to, it's not like they've lost any. The people who made the film lost any ticket sales to them, because they're not going to go and see it anywhere.
People will want to watch it because, let's see what Trump's going on about.
Well, yeah. But even he said he hadn't watched it. I don't want to talk too much about him.
Yeah.
Absolute mouth breather. Are we allowed to call the President of the United States a mouth breather on podcast?
Yeah, I'd say that's okay.
Sounds brilliant. I'd like to say some more things. We need
to like a bleeper.
Well, let's go with the when me and Patchie disagree with stuff as well. Before we finish, we're going to talk a little bit, because you finished. I finished it before Christmas, but you finished Witcher this week, didn't you?
Yep, finally finished that. I can't remember anything, so I need notes. So yeah, I mean, it was something that a lot of people have been saying to watch it. People at work, yourself. It was something that I was putting off because it wasn't really my type of thing, because I didn't like Game of Thrones, and that's what I saw. I thought it was going to be another Game of Thrones. And okay, there's similar aspects to it, but I thought it was that the story was just so much better. There was a lot more to it. there was only 8 episodes in this season, but it leaves the way that the season actually ended. It leaves so many things unanswered. I mean, I think they've just gone into production for the new series, and even just with series 2, there's a lot of things that they can do with how they ended the season. But you can almost say there's so many more things for them to do. So
potential spin-offs and stuff.
yeah, spin-offs, but just the way they left the stories with certain characters. I mean, we might give a few spoilers while we're talking about it. We won't go into it in too much depth. But yeah, there's so much that we can see for like Geralt and Yen.
Yeah.
You're not quite sure where their characters are going to go. I mean, just in that first series, you see it open with Geralt in the swamp, and he's battling that beast. So you just think this guy's dark and he's going to be this absolute badass. And then you see this real like soft side to him, and this almost like he's really misunderstood, and he's got this heart. So yeah, it's nice seeing the character development.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I mean, it's not. I don't think it's the most difficult role to play for him, but.
I think it's made for him though.
But he doesn't really need to act that much in that way. But I think the fight scenes are amazing.
Yeah.
With that was the standout thing, I think, and his relationship with the bard as well.
So
did you notice? Because I haven't really spoken to you, have I?
Yeah.
But because you just messaged and said you'd finished it. Did you notice the time skips?
Yeah.
In the first couple of episodes.
Yeah.
I didn't get onto that. I think it was episode 2, and it's the king with his and it goes to the ball they're having, and it's the king with his sister.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that? Whoa, hang on. I had to pause it, and then watching it with my wife, and she said that's one of the things. That's one of the criticisms in this series, was that people didn't really know what time they were living in, type thing as well.
Yeah.
And then obviously as the series progresses, you realise that Yennefer doesn't age, Geralt doesn't really age.
Yeah.
So any time has passed between 5 and 30 years and stuff like that, and then you've got the little girl in it, who's obviously her mum's a little girl later on the series and stuff like that. It's a bit confusing, but I know someone who's watched it twice through again, just to pick up on all the little bits, and you do get a lot more out of it as well.
Yeah, it's something that you can just sit down on your phone and to be honest with you, while I was watching the last few episodes, I had to go back a few times because I was making notes for what we're talking about today. So yeah, I did have to go back a few times. Should we get it for you?
That's all right.
But yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's something that you have to sit down and really concentrate with.
Yeah, Patchie's commented. Rob joined as well. Hi, Rob.
Just saying hello to Chris, Amy, and Chris again.
Are they different Chris's?
Different Chris's. Chris Connors, Chris Baines.
Logging back in. So I think basically I'm really excited for the second series.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really good. I've actually been playing, and I'm going to go home later and play more Witcher 3 on Xbox.
Yeah.
Again, it starts off slow like any of the sort of these RPGs do, where it's tutorials and stuff. I don't really need to know how to swing a sword and whatever. I'm into it now. I'm about a good few hours into it, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's really, and it's just made. You watch it on Netflix, and you're like, this is a computer. It's stuff where he's taking the potion before he fights and stuff like that, and he's treating his blade with different oils to fight different monsters and stuff. Yeah, it's absolutely made.
With people who are maybe thinking about watching it, just so you know, you don't have to have played the games.
No,
it's actually reading about. It's actually based on the book rather than the games. But it's just an enjoyable series, even if you've not read or played the games at all.
I think the first book as well is it's out of order, so it is all origin stories, and that's what they did the first series on. That's why it is a bit. All he needs to do was just 10 years earlier, 35 years later, or something. Just try and put that at the bottom of the screen. Would it have messed up the feel of the film, the feel of the program? I don't think it would have.
No, because they tend to do that in other things.
Most things, anyway. So it was a bit of a strange way of doing it.
What you saying about the Bard and Geralt's relationship as well.
Absolutely brilliant.
What I absolutely love is 2 shows that I've loved the most recently. Because it was a very Mando Baby Yoda feel, like taking him under his wing.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the formula for a good show.
Yeah.
You need someone who goes around killing people, but has got a heart.
Yeah, got a heart to look after someone. Although he does, well, spoiler. Actually, what I didn't give you in a note, and I've only just thought about it now. One of your favourite programmes, I think Leah's, well, a good few people have watched it as well. I've just finished, so the original run, series 1 to 3 of Arrested Development.
Yeah.
I didn't realise, because I've heard that like the last 2 series, 4 and 5, are great. I didn't realise about the time skip as well.
Yeah.
So I think it finished in like 2006 or 2007, and then it come back to Netflix in like 2016, 2017 or something.
Yeah, where they've all had a lot of plastic surgery.
Oh my god, yeah. There's
Especially
a lot
Lindsay.
Yeah. Alleged plastic surgery, by the way, as well.
It's a GDC exclusive.
It's very good the way it's supposed to be like half an hour after like the boat sank and stuff like that, and they're all in like the harbour master's office, and they're quite like Michael Cera comes in. He was like, I think he's like 15 or 16 in the original show. He comes in, he's like 23. You know, he's.
I think a lot of people who didn't enjoy watching that particular series, they had to go back and rewatch a lot of it because, like you said, there's time skips and there's certain things going on in the background that you might not remember previously. But yeah, when you actually watch it that way, it's actually a really good series.
I think the only one, like, because they've all aged apart, the only one who didn't actually look like he'd aged is Buster.
Yeah.
He just looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I think like Liza Minnelli's character in it as well, because it's just like
she's just well preserved, isn't
well
she?
preserved. But yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. Buster is outstanding. He's such a good character.
Hi, brother.
With his like his hook hand and stuff like that. I mean, see, I didn't know any of that was going to happen. On the still on it on Netflix, you see him sitting there and he's got like a fake hand or something. And he's just like, no. Like, you know that's going to happen. That's not a spoiler. No. But
if you've not watched it by now, it's been out for a very long time.
Absolutely brilliant. But Tobias as well. Like Tobias is just his relationship with his wife and just.
We can't really do his catchphrases on this, can we?
No.
I think one of my favourite Tobias scenes though is it's when he plays the Mrs. Doubtfire character.
Oh my word.
I can never
Mrs.
Mrs. Featherbottom or something like that.
Butterbottom or Featherbottom or something.
Yeah, there's definitely a bottom in there.
Yeah.
But where he jumps off the stairs through the table.
Just outstanding. He's trying to be like Mary Poppins and the umbrella.
Yeah. And fun fact, one of the guys that is watching at the moment, Pete, he once bought for my birthday some denim cut-offs.
Oh wow!
So that was.
Is he a never nude or are you a never nude really? Secretly never nude.
Oh, well, I'm wearing them now.
Oh god!
You can't see anything.
But yeah, basically Tobias' character, he's a never nude, and he's always got, no matter what he's wearing, what outfit he's got on, he's always got a pair of denim cut-offs on. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the show. I have noticed the difference. I think I've watched like 3 episodes of the redone series on Netflix.
I would have some of Arrested Development Funko Pops for the set, but Neve stole them. This is what happens when you get your kids into good shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's watching, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
was like, that's not Leah. Hi. I think that is Neve, but yeah.
I'm assuming so, yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad I remembered that then actually, because when we were on our way in, I meant to say that I got distracted about Arrested Development, but yeah, I'm really into it. Been rewatching, I think I mentioned as well, Black Books as well.
That's just something that you can just pick up and put down all the time.
Yeah. Episode 1 I watched over the weekend.
The little book car.
Completely forgot as well. Because Martin Freeman's like the Doctor, just this little party play. Martin Freeman's not like, Hollywood superstar.
That's what I love about that show as well. I mean, it's so well written, but you've just got all these faces that pop up. There's the one with the bookshop that opens next door.
Oh, that's amazing.
Really creepy Simon Pegg.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was absolutely brilliant. And then you've got Peter Serafinowicz. Hi, Fran.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many little people. Omid Jalili as well, when he abducts Bill Bailey's character, Manny.
Oh, I think, yeah.
Do you remember that one? And
Yeah.
he starts taking photos of him and stuff like that. But yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant show.
That's been my week. Actually, I've not really watching much serious things, just really a lot of comedy stuff.
Yeah, I just want to be Bernard Black. Just sit there drinking wine, smoking, and just.
I think because obviously you work in customer service. I work with customers. I work in customer service. Work with a lot of students. Work with a lot of members of the public and stuff. And the way he is with people, he's like, get out the shop. Or he's like, oh my god, I can't believe people. Basically, he doesn't want to serve anyone. Does he? He doesn't want people in his shop. Why has he got a shop?
He says everything that you actually want to say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's a bit I was watching over the weekend, the first episode again. He's on the phone, and the guy comes up to the counter, and he just starts talking to him. And he just writes a post-it note and just sticks it to his head, just on phone. And he's just literally got the post-it. I was like, I'm going to do that this weekend. I'm not going to do it this weekend.
Well, my dad actually keeps on saying that he wants for the shop the closed.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah, I definitely want that. But yeah, no, it's absolutely outstanding program.
I know. I'm actually off to London in a couple of weeks for work, and just near Euston Station is where I think Patchie has actually been as well.
Yeah,
to the shop, to the actual shop. So I'm gonna definitely have a little stop off there.
Yeah, you definitely need to go.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't realise it was by Euston Station.
It's a little bit of a walk, like 10 minutes.
Next time I'm in London, I'll have to pop down.
Definitely,
I still need to go to the Space House as well.
Yeah. It's not literally just going up. Well, there's the house. They've changed the gate and stuff now. So when I went, it was the same gate. Because we just bought it out and stuff. I think that's what Mike from the show, he was saying his friend bought it.
All right.
As well. So I think he's done it all. But he didn't buy it because it's Space House. He just bought it because it was.
So you should be listening. You should need to keep the outside of it the same for the fans.
Yeah, definitely. Shop and trolley and stuff.
Think of a challenge.
Right, that's pretty much all we've actually gone over our time.
That's
lots of time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason. Just want to thank everyone for listening.
Yeah.
Got a lot of nice comments after the last show. We're getting a lot of emails in as well, which is really nice. A little feedback. We're off.
Sorry, Patchie's just commented, is Dad dead, Harry? No, your dad's okay. It's fine. He's commenting.
I think.
Terminator.
That's just going to be on his gravestone, isn't it? We can just put it there next time he's not in. Actually.
Have you seen Terminator Genesis yet? Or was it Demons?
I seen a post about Demons the other day. Actually, I didn't tag him in it. I meant to tag him in it. It was a still from it. It was like someone had put it up and like one of the best films. I was like, it's really not, it's awful. Yeah, just all joking aside, thank you so much. Thank you to Patchie, because I know he's done some little research for us on this, and he's put with the help of him and Jason have put the little PowerPoint together and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Jason's been amazing. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
And you don't ever see Jason, but he does so much work for us, and it's absolutely outstanding. Check out Access Northwest, other shows as well, like we always say, the Fish Marley Rock Show. That's what you're into. The Scotty Road Writers as well is always a really popular one. They've always got really good guests, and they do like the football show and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a good classic rock show as well. Is it Derek that does it?
Derek Shelby.
Yeah, Derek Shelby. That's a really good one. Definitely worth a listen.
So check out. It's again, local station. Support as much as you said. We were saying about supporting local businesses and stuff like that. Yeah. It needs all the support, doesn't it? And,
definitely.
It's going to be really good.
Just like this podcast, so share it.
We've had some likes off people who don't usually like it, actually, which has been quite good. But yeah, so thank you to everyone for listening. Thank you for our various wives and partners for putting up with us and letting us, take half an hour out the day to do research and do writing up and stuff like that, and Sunday mornings and stuff like that, and rearrange the times and stuff. It's always appreciated.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and next time, I'm not sure. I think we're going to do more on the wrestling side of things as well.
Yeah.
Because you've got a really awesome playlist together, haven't you?
If you've not listened to it already, we have shared it through the Facebook page. As always, tell me what you think about it. I'd also like some suggestions for future playlists. It gets a bit difficult after a while trying to find them. You'll notice that I didn't do a midweek one this week because I just couldn't think of a theme.
No, the rest of them was really good though.
Let us know what you'd like to listen to.
So that's all we've got time for this week. We need to go and I need to go and have some breakfast. I've not had breakfast. I've had 3 cups of coffee.
And a ginger biscuit.
Big mugs and ginger biscuits. Well, again, Jason doesn't just do the show. You know,
He
provides us with biscuits as well, various biscuits, which is always welcome. So thank you to Jason. Thank you for everyone for joining in. If you're listening on the Tuesday repeat, thank you so much again. And if you download us as well, because we've had loads of downloads as well. Mixcloud, which has just been brilliant. So yeah, thank you very much. Check us out on Twitter. Patchie basically runs a lot of the Twitter stuff, so it's GDC show _chat, and Instagram as well, GD&C. Just check us out on all that. Patchie's been putting a lot of interesting graphics and stuff up there. And yeah, so thank you very much for joining in. Thanks, Ant.
Thank you very much, George.
Yes. Okay.
We did it by ourselves.
Bye.
Bye.